Naivete. Mr. President, most days I stand amazed at the things which come out of your mouth. Unfortunately, this is not a compliment. I wish that it were, but the things you say cause me to cringe and wish that I had not heard them. The other day, someone was questioning you about your meeting an agreement with the President of North Korea. You explained that you had a contract with him and you had sealed it with a handshake. Really, Mr. President? Can you be that naive? I thought you were a savvy businessman who had earned your chops in the construction industry in New York and New Jersey. Now, admittedly, I do not know anything about what goes on in those environments other than what is reported in the news, in the movies, and on television. These reports seem to indicate that this is a hard place to work and the people there are really tough. You seem to allude to this during your campaign, substantiating your credibility as a deal maker because of your background in this arena. I took this to mean that you knew how to play hardball and were not afraid to throw a few punches when necessary. The rough and tumble world of unions and construction you indicated had been a great training ground for you and gave you the background necessary to become president. I'm beginning to wonder if this is really true. Either that arena is all hyped up by novelists and the fake media, or you really didn't learn anything there. What you signed was an agreement, not a contract. You've spent years pointing out how governments, including North Korea, have hoodwinked previous administrations and have not lived up to their agreements. What makes you think that they are going to abide with what you said? Oh yes, you shook hands. That makes all the difference in the world. No one could ever betray a handshake. Grow up, Mr. President. I'm sure that the President of North Korea knows your infamy for lying. He knows that a large part of what you say is hyperbole at best, if not pure fiction. He probably thought that since you lie all the time, it was all right for him to do so. His father and grandfather had lied to previous administrations. He knew you lied. What's the big deal? You had a good time. He got you to agree not to hold any more training exercises. He got the spotlight on the world stage. He now is playing with the big boys. What more could he want? Wake up, Mr. President. He got everything, you got nothing. Now he is ready to go back to the business of keeping control of his country. I'm sure it's nothing personal, Mr. President. I'm sure he didn't mean to offend you. His handshake was probably sincere. He meant it at the time. Now reality has set in and it's time to get back to work. After all, he has a country to run, as do you. Hopefully you've learned something and will not go so blindly into your next meeting. But I have my doubts, as we saw with the President of Russia. I'm sure you had a great time. You seem to be making some wonderful new friends. At the same time, you seem to be throwing those who have stood by us historically overboard. Maybe your new friends will be there when your term ends. Maybe they will continue to greet you warmly and remember the great handshakes when you no longer have the bully pulpit you so ignominiously utilize with our allies and friends. Maybe they will be your friends because they have never been very friendly to the rest of us. But then, we are all just pawns which you can cast aside when you no longer need us.